G'day folks. Well, after a successful run with the Kubota ride-on, it's time to drop the deck and give it a bit of maintenance. The rest of the tractor works really well. There was a dicky, possibly a seat occupancy switch or the PTO cutout switch, which killed it within the first minute or so of mowing, but as soon as I played around with them and reseated some connections, everything worked again. I talked to the guy I bought it from, and it hasn't been used in about 2 years. It's been a deceased estate. It just sat in storage for about 2 years after the owner died, essentially. It's been out in the weather a bit since, and yeah, these blade wheel spindles have copped a bit of water damage. The bearings are really raw. Even pumping them full of grease hasn't shut them up. They're just very, very bad. And so are the blade edges. The blade edges are shot. I could spend hours regrinding them, so I ordered a new set for about 80 bucks off eBay. Proper wear resistant steel, boron steel. But we're going to have a close look at this thing and give it a good clean up. But it did alright. Cut it down from sort of almost waist high grass. Just left it on full setting, act as a slasher, slash it all down. Then go back over it a couple of times, just bringing the deck down one notch at a time, and works really well. You can see Betty and Elise are quite happy with the work that I've done. But yeah, 4 pins and 2 springs to release this. You've got to pull these springs up and release them with the deck fully raised, then drop the deck down onto a couple of wooden blocks and remove the 2 front pins and the 2 back pins, and that's it. You can just drag it straight out. Oh, and I had to remove this gauge wheel here as well. The front gauge wheels are shot. I'm going to make new ones out of polyethylene. That gauge wheel pin's been welded in, so I might replace this whole holder. Yeah, there are characteristic cracks of heavy use. It wasn't rough terrain this was used on. I've actually driven past the place this was used on. There are just a lot of angles and hills, so it's not rough, it's just twisting. So it's just twisting this deck. This side here would have been on the low side, and it's copped most of the abuse. The gauge wheel mounts and the wheels themselves are a lot more damaged than these ones here. So yeah, they're probably driving with the thrower on the upside, or vice versa. It's hard to tell. So yeah, it needs a good clean up. Yeah, RC44LT is the actual model. I've got new blades coming soon. They're about $69 a set. 3 blades. Not sure what that bearing's like. It's not too bad. That one's shot. We'll see how bad that one is when I flip it over. But yeah, that can all come out. It's all just pinned in. Everything's going to get a full pressure wash once it's all stripped down, and I'll find where all the cracks are and MIG them up. Pretty good. It's definitely a good buy for the price. I know people were saying that they can get these a lot cheaper in Canada or the States, but Australian market's a bit different. These things sell for $2.5 to $3 grand all day, at least on eBay anyway. that'll do. Now, for this thing, it's better just start stripping it down, clean it right up. Blades are pretty much, well, I could grind them, but there's not much point. They're pretty much done. There's a bit of meat left on them. That nut's a bit, oh, it's not a nut, it's a bolt. What's left of a bolt. So there's one hub there, and one there. That one has a grease nipple on top, which I didn't even know about. That one's alright. That one's alright. That one's not alright. That's the one making the horrible racket. Mind you, they're all a bit sad. Just that's the worst one. That sounds horrific when it's in operation. Yeah. Had a bit of a crash and this and that. The wear edges are still okay. No, oh yeah, there's some cracking there. Just going to be a matter of getting the grinder out the wire wheel and just run the MIG down there. That gauge wheel mount's alright. That gauge wheel mount is gone. It's been welded back on. Definitely salvageable. Very salvageable. There's not much wrong with this that can't be fixed in a shop like mine. Needs a good clean though. I don't want to hit it with the gurney just yet because I don't want to get water into things that don't need to be rebuilt. Mainly that. The rest of it I don't care about. I'm going to strip both all the bearing housings down. I just don't want to hit it with the pressure cleaner until that's off. Yeah, oh well, we'll find out soon. Because that's part of that.